In the final scene of Arcane, Caitlyn, instead of calling Vi like she herself and everyone else used to, refers to her as Violet.
Are you still in this fight, Violet?
Now, I saw some confusion within the community as to why is that. So I figured we have to take a look again at the very last scene and discuss it. First of all, as League of Legends voice lines tell us, Vi stands for violence, vicious, and vice.
Vi stands for violence. Vi stands for vicious. Vi stands for vice.
Vi's nature has always been all about fighting with her gauntlets or her fists. She used to wear bandages protecting her hands, her body. And it's not just that she's been a fighter. Her way of resolving conflicts, whether it was between Piltover and Zon, or between her and thugs in a dark alley, was far from peaceful. She's confrontational, easily triggered, and usually seeked a way out that involved dispute. Physical dispute. But she wasn't always like that. She became that. And we could see the clear moment when, after her parents were killed on the bridge between Piltover and Zon, result of conflict between Up and Down, when she's squeezing her fists. The moment Vander dropped his gauntlets, she rose hers. And thus, as SirCalcu suggested, cycle of violence continued. But before that, in her very essence, at her very core, she was Violet. That is what, ironically, not even her mother, but Vander named her. Vander that always tried to keep her up to her highest standards, teaching her how violence is not the way, since he knows the path. He has been down that road before. That is also what she kept being called, as we see on the wall Caitlyn discovers in the very place where Vi used to live with her family. It's an insane little detail that Caitlyn is the one seeing Vi's real name and later on Vi's real nature. Her parents did not see Vi as a person of violent nature, the show seems to be telling us. She became one. But the last time she led a peaceful and happy life, she wasn't like that. And the time when she reached again that moment, a moment when she let go of things that kept bringing her down. Her burden, her guilt, she became Violet yet again, and that is why Caitlyn called her that. I already discussed Vi's final look interpretation in a separate video, but it's worth mentioning that since Vi's essence changed visually in the final episode, most of all her tattoos stating Vi was scarred, telling us she is no longer the same person. In her final Arcane moments, she looks happy. Peaceful, relaxed, healthy. She even put on a little weight. Caitlyn has always been a person providing support for her. Protection, peace. In the very same way only her parents did before. Partially Vander. It's not a coincidence either Caitlyn has been both visually and flashbacks-wise compared to both Vander.
I can tell. You have a good heart.
You've got a good heart.
And to Vi's mother. And finally, aside from that, it also feels like an intimate gesture between two people in love. No one else has ever called Vi Violet in her adult life. Interestingly enough, the last person that used that name was Powder when she was begging her not to reject her, not to follow the violent path, trying to appeal to her peaceful self, the sister that protected her. At the time, Powder failed and Violet left. The parallels between Caitlyn and Jinx do call for another video though. Caitlyn, very much like Vander, always held Violet up to highest standards, seeing who she really is, who she can be, who she was prior all the events that unfolded, seeing that she has a good heart. In a similar way, Vi in Season 2 started calling Caitlyn Kate. It's almost the opposite, because while Caitlyn uses her full name, Vi goes for a shorter version, knowing that inside their home, the great house Kiraman leader, Caitlyn Kiraman, the sheriff of the enforcers, is just Kate to her. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around, there's an in-depth Caitlyn and Vi video coming later on this week. I'm just editing it, it's a bit long, but yeah, see you there.